All right, new day, new same video concept. So I have this client, potential client, who I met, or I first initially spoke to back in October. It was a referral. The guy, told me she really needs a website. She's really about it. She just opened up the store. She's a successful, she has other successful businesses. And it's like, okay, great. So I follow up. Usually it takes 2-3 weeks sometimes to get a hold of somebody. Finally, she calls one day. We go over it. We go, what we're trying to do, what we can do. If we can help, we can help. They want logo work. They want website work. They want Google Ads work. It's like, okay, this is great. So the client in October, let's just say early November, goes, hey, I'm ready. Let me know how to start. And I was like, great. Here's the deposit link. We started deposits via link, invoice link. Send it over. Don't hear nothing. So I follow up literally weekly for, let's say, all of November. Then I say, hey, if you no longer need this, don't worry about it. And then I think she replies one time. She's like, yes, I'm still interested. I was like, okay. And then again, for the next week, every week and a half or every 2 weeks, I hey, do you want to move forward or not? And at first it's nice. It's like, hey, would you like to move forward? Hey, if you have any questions, let me know. If there's anything I can clear up, if you need to have an additional call, perfect. Actually, at this point, I didn't send an invoice link yet, a deposit link. I have sent like the preliminary things we need, like, hey, how do you want your site to look? Where's the, do you have the logo? All these like details that really doesn't take long. A lot of times people pay even before getting to that point. But because of the conversation, I knew it was kind of like, it sounds like this lady doesn't really know what she's going for, or better yet, she doesn't understand the process. So she kind of like says yes to everything, but I can tell she doesn't actually understand, or I don't know. That's what's weird about it. Anyway, so it's now March 1st, and maybe last month, like in January, I gave up on it. I was like, hey, I was like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna mark it as a closed lead, as far as like no more following up, closed loss, whatever. And so I was like, it's great. Like, it's fine. Like, typically those are not good signs when people don't respond to you. They just leave you on red. And it's like, and we already did some preliminary work. We made some logo designs. We did some research. We sent some themes. Like, it was set up because it was like a 90% closed deal. So it's like, this is weird, and the fact that even the price, the price was a favorable price, but she kept trying to lower it. It's like, well, we don't really want to do if it's going to be like, if it's going to be low or whatever, because it doesn't make sense anymore. It's actually a lot of work. It's not an easy site. It's it's a store with a lot of inventory, a lot of moving parts. And she wants it to be like, and it's not just for functioning websites, like she wants it to be elegant. She wants to connect with her inventory, not only online, but on, the other channels like Instagram, Facebook, the website, her actually on, her actual physical store. So it's a lot. We can do it, but it's not like an easy project. So yeah, things like that. You're like, this is a tough site. We're charging a fair price. We're not really, I'm not excited to work on it, and it's gonna cost, like, it's not, it's gonna cost money to even just get it up and running. And so then maybe like in January, like mid-January, she texted me, hey, like, I'm ready. And I was like, okay, great. Would you like to meet? Like, I don't know how you want to do this. Like, if you want to meet, let's do it. And then the person who referred me is like, hey, she's ready. Just call her, just go to her office, just whatever. I'm like, hey, look, if she reaches out, great. And she did reach out. She's like, hey, let's meet. So I go to the actual store to meet. Spend like an hour there. I see the facilities. I mean, it's a great place, I see the vision. I talk to her, her other businesses. I'm like, it's great, cool. And I still tell her like the same thing, like, hey, the only thing I'm not too certain about is like, once this project starts, like, we got to make sure the project moves forward. Because what ends up happening sometimes is you close a deal, they pay the deposit, and then instead of it taking 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks is like standard websites, on something kind of custom for this, I would say like 2 months, right? Let's say 6 to 8 weeks. And So yeah, like, you know, we gotta finish it, because if not, it's just weird, you know. It's like you have a project half done. We're waiting on stuff from client. You know, we'll do our part. That's our job. We'll do our part. But if we don't have the inventory, if we don't have the photos, if we don't have, key decision that we know you want, like, is this elegant enough, right? It gets stuck, and it's just weird, because then it's the same thing as the way I was following up. It's like constantly just like, hey, you know, we're here. Hello. We're not trying to take your money, but you gave us money, you know. And so the good thing is that, you know, she hasn't paid anything yet. But so I met, like, let's say on a Thursday. That same Thursday, I was like, here, like, you're ready, bet, here, pay the deposit, we'll move forward. That's it. Like, and she literally goes like, yes, I'm ready, send it all. Agreed on a price, so on and so forth. And then, you know, nothing that day. I was like, all right, you know, that's kind of obnoxious, right? Like, immediately. But not that obnoxious when you've gone through, you know, 4 or 5 months of just sitting around. The next day was a Friday, which usually Fridays are like the days people, they're like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Like, I've noticed that, like, Fridays tend to have more of that, the deposit links paid than other days, for sure. I couldn't tell you what the second day is, but Fridays for sure. And so Friday, nothing. I was like, all right, she is busy. And she viewed it Friday. So that's actually like, it'll tell you, the invoice system we use, like, it'll tell you when someone views it. So I was like, okay, she viewed it. You know, maybe whatever. Like, fine, that's cool. Like, we don't, you know, at the same time, I'm not trying to be pushy. Like, I want a yes or no, but she keeps saying yes, but, you know, the actions is no. Like, there's like no action. And as far as the deposit. And so I'm like, all right, well, maybe, you know, I'll give her a week. So I give her a week. And nothing. So I was like, all right. So I start doing this first thing I did the first time. I started following up, sending texts saying like, hey, you know, if you have any questions, but let me know so we can get started, or give me a start date, you know. Another week goes by. So anyways, it's February 14th, and I'm finally like, hey, Karen, is it Karen? I don't know. Ignore that. I'm like, hi, client, super sorry. Hi, client, super sorry. Hey, we really need to know if we're gonna move forward on this project. I have a team waiting to move forward. We have all the things in line to get started. Please let me know if you still want to move forward or not. And she replies, yes, I'm ready. And then immediately I send the link. I say, okay, great. Please pay the deposit and we will get started. And nothing. And so another week goes by, or like another week goes by, and another week goes by, and nothing. Hasn't even viewed the invoice, hasn't even read the text, I don't think, or she turns it off, whatever. And so today's March 1st, and I'm like, all right, I gotta take it off. Like, what's, you know, usually I'm a lot quicker to like say, okay, they don't want to do it, I'm gonna remove the invoice. And I actually have 3 invoices out that are like that right now. But this one's the most obvious, or the strangest one, I guess. The other ones are like, okay, you know, they're normal. Okay, they're not gonna do it. Let's cancel it. But today, this one, I'm gonna cancel it. So it's a good chunk of revenue for us if we were to do it. And it's an interesting project. It's a little bit, because of the way that, see, one thing I've learned is like when a client or a business knows what they're doing, it's a lot easier to work with them, and it's a lot easier to get information or details, because they know what they want, right? Because like as website providers, we are as good as what the client's vision is, right? Like, so if a client says, I just want a website, then we can build them just a website. But then they might come back and say, well, actually, that's not really the vibe I was looking for. And it's like, well, what kind of vibe? What are you looking for? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, they might go like, I'm just looking for a different vibe, a better vibe, a more elegant vibe. And it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? And so then there's the design part, and then there's like the layout part. Well, like, you know, I don't really care what it looks like. And then you make it, and they're like, well, actually, I want it to look like, and then they send 3 like giant companies that there's no reason the client's website should look like that, because it's just different. They don't offer that many services, or they don't get that much traffic, and it's like, you know, you're not them. But when a customer, client, business knows who they are, who they serve, they're even just their pricing is down. And do they want to mention the prices online? Do they rather have them call? Do they, you know, do they have the system and processes ready already? It's like 100% easier. It's a little bit annoying sometimes when clients do know what they want, because sometimes they know so much that it's like, no, we can't do it this way. No, we can't route to that phone number. No, we can't show this, because, you know, they tend to ask questions if we put this up, and we'd rather consult with them online. No, we don't do free consultations. We'd rather not say it, even though that's like a good thing to put on there to have people call. But since they don't do it, you know, so it's like, it does get, it's like the opposite, right? Like, it's like, they know so much that you, sometimes, not always, that you have to really get specific with what you do, which is actually great, because you get a specific, you know, custom website that we can build and make specific to them, versus, like I said, when a customer doesn't really know what they're doing, they're kind of like shooting from the hip. But it's like too shooting from the hip. Like, if it was like half and half, it's like, okay, at the very least, I want the website to, you know, do X, Y, and Z. Then it's like, okay, well, we can do that. And we always provide ideas and samples and samples. But if there's endless samples, you know, we can't provide endless. If there's endless things they want to see, it's like that. It doesn't make sense anymore for us to make like a billion versions of one site, because it's like that's time, resources, money. Like, it sucks. And so my point with this is, can you go, sir? My point with this is, I'm actually holding the phone with my left hand with the pop socket thing, and it's actually super comfortable. I don't even have to look at my phone. The point is, I'm gonna take off the invoice. I'm not even gonna say anything, because I've already followed up a million times. And if I go, hey, customer, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the invoice because we've been waiting forever and we just haven't gotten a response. So if there is a, you know, if you ever do want to move forward, let me know. If I do that, I'm pretty sure the client's gonna be like, oh, no, I'll pay right now. And it's like, we've crossed that line. Like, I don't want to work on this. We have already wasted so much time just texting and calling and meeting, and me talking to our team like, hey, this is coming in, get ready, setting stuff up. It's like, it's not worth it. Anyways, that's today's video. We'll call it when to not work with the client. I don't know.